morning and afternoon. Welcome to Sports Talk with the Glove and the Ring Man.
That was good.
Oh man, today we're going to talk about less than 24 hours, NBA free agency. What's going to happen? It is boring, but we're going to discuss it. Number 2, Jameis Winston. When no means no, but you think your profile gives you the opportunity to touch on people. And why it's a bad idea for pro athletes to take less money. If the system's designed for you to take more money, why take less? I'm going to tell you why it's a bad idea. But we're going to start off with NBA free agency. As of right now, we know it's all about LeBron, Kawhi, Paul George. But we're seeing some interesting moves happening. DeAndre Jordan. He decided to opt out.
Yeah.
And the Mavs have decided not to accept Dirk's option, but they're going to re-sign him.
Yeah,
what you think about that situation? You think that DeAndre may head down to Texas?
Yeah,
finally?
he was trying to go last time. Remember?
Yeah.
Before they locked him in the door. The Clips was like, you ain't going nowhere. He's signing with us. Take this money and stay here.
You're right, and,
Yeah, and
that's
she probably
crazy.
regretted after the first 15 games. It's like, well, damn. I should have went home. I should have gone home, went on home.
You know, and I thought about that, and I was like, you know what? Wow. So, because I remember last show we talked about, we was like, you know, Dallas looking pretty good now. Adding DeAndre Jordan, does that help them?
Yeah, it gives him a solid center. That means that a man gives him room to move and shoot. And you have somebody in the middle that can score at least 10 points a game, 10 solid points a game, and provide you 10 plus rebounds a game.
That's true.
And block. And block. Pretty much, you got a big body that can take up some space. Like I said, make room for everybody else around the outside your shooters to shoot and make some things happen.
Okay, I like that because I know Dwight, I'm getting traded again. Howard is supposed to be going to the Nets, and if that trade goes through, he's looking for a buyout.
I wouldn't blame him.
So now, seeing what the Lakers are trying to do, which we'll talk about, do you think that he may try to run back to LA on a cheaper deal just to win?
First thing I do, I was thinking about this morning, I call LeBron.
I thought about
Or
that
LeBron called me, look, if you trying to make this move, this is what I'm going to need of you. All jokes aside, you know, hey, you come in, you provide 10 points, 10 plus rebounds, and throw a couple of blocks. Just be a body in there. You can do your antics as long as you do what you need to do. As long as you're putting in. I'll see you in LA. Now that would be something. That would be something.
I'm glad we're on the same page because I thought about the same thing. I said if LeBron stayed in Cleveland, he should go to Cleveland. If LeBron goes to LA, he should go to LA. And the reason why is everything you said. He doesn't need to score.
No.
And I think he's at a point in his career where he doesn't care about that anymore. So I believe he's a good fit for wherever LeBron goes. Yeah. And he's still
and he
young.
can pass, and he's still a solid passer. So that's another thing too. You know, he working down to him, and then LeBron's hovering, and when LeBron's cutting, he hits him off with the pass. I mean, hey, you know.
And see that, and that's why I was looking at it because of course, we're hearing all the rumors, and right now, I'm thinking LA's willing to give the whole ship.
I wouldn't give the whole ship to the Spurs for Kawhi.
And I said the same thing. Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart, all their draft picks.
I wouldn't do all that.
That's the same thing I said. I personally think, and this is just me, I wouldn't make the deal for Kawhi. I will feel strongly enough that I could get LeBron and Paul George and still keep that team.
Yeah. And
add Dwight Howard. Like that to me, I think that is formidable in the West.
Boogie Cousins.
Thank you. And that's the other thing.
Boogie Cousins.
Hey.
You looking for a deal?
Exactly. And plus you won't have them for the first half of the season, which is no problem. Because once you get them back will be when you need them to make that deep run.
Yeah.
I like that too. And that's another person I'm looking at. I was like, man, you know, you do have some big men who can score.
Yeah.
And I think and I love Kawhi. I love his game. And I just feel as though just pretty much giving up the house for him to rebuild. Miami did that before, and that was a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Yeah.
I don't think you could do that now. I think the Celtics are looking at doing the same thing, but I'm looking at the Celtics like, you was just in the Eastern Conference Finals with a starless team.
Yeah.
For the second year in a row.
Yeah.
And now you get your 2 stars back. I wouldn't even worry about Kawhi.
Nah.
The Sixers can't get better right now because they don't have the cap space, despite what people think they have to trade. And once again, Phelps is not that good to trade, and you're not getting rid of Ben Simmons, and you're not going to get rid of Joel Embiid.
No.
So
That's
right
a
now,
future right there.
exactly. So you're kind of strapped right now until you can try to work some either through the draft or maybe through free agency with a lower tier star. So if you're Boston, I wouldn't trade nobody. If you're LA, I would bank on Magic Johnson pulling LeBron and Paul George. I would bank on that.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, yeah, I would go another route. Like I said, I'll go a whole different route. You know, Kawhi will come to LA if he'll get there.
Right.
I don't think it'll be when he wants to get there, but I think he'll get there. Because I think he's gonna end up somewhere first before he gets to LA, just out of spite.
I'm feeling you on that one.
But he's gonna send you to Memphis.
You know what? That could happen because at the end of the day, if you're the Spurs, you're not banking on a star anyway.
Yeah.
Because you can work. Greg Popovich is good at working with what he has.
Yeah.
So I see that. Plus, a lot of people don't understand Kawhi to be traded to a person that really would like for him to be traded to, he would have to say, I will sign an extension. And right now, the only place he's saying is LA. If I'm LA, you still hold the cards.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry about making any deals until you pull 2 other free agents. You still have a solid team.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't make the move. Plus, he'll be a free agent next year with somebody by the name of Klay Thompson, which I always said is a better version of Steph Curry. He's bigger, he plays defense, and he can shoot. So he becomes a free agent. Despite what people think, Golden State ain't got all the money in the world to keep signing these players, especially if Durant signs the deal, because he's a free agent right now too. So you have, come tomorrow.
So, what do you think about the so-called rumor about LeBron reaching out to KD like, hey, let's.
You know what? I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. You never know. I think the agents talked.
The agents may have done it. I don't think LeBron personally would have done it because he's at a point in his career where I think he respects KD too much to say that we should be together. Yeah. And I think that right there is because at the end of the day, your goal is to beat Golden State.
Yeah.
So if you join forces with one of the main people that just beat you, it's kind of like you're giving in. And I don't think LeBron's in the giving in stage. I think he'll try to pull other stars to move forward. Now, if I'm an agent and I would, because at the end of the day, you have KD and LeBron James on the same team. Exactly. For the next 3 years, you should be winning at least 2 championships. That's a fact.
Yeah.
If not all 3. Like, y'all should see, because they're too good to not. But as a competitor, I think LeBron James still has a little bit of competitive when he sees a person at 1-on-1. And I think he sees that in Kevin Durant to the point where he's like, I don't want you on my team. I like facing you.
Yeah.
So
sees him as an actual rival.
Exactly. Because to be honest, for the most part of his career, because we talked about this on the last week with Kobe Bryant, for most of his career, it's probably have been KD his rival and not Kobe. Because even though Kobe was still formidable, he was still winning championships. I think that Kevin Durant has really been LeBron's rival. Like, that's who you would compare him to when it's over with, and not Kobe. And I think we talked about that, how Kobe, unfortunately, he fell into the end of Jordan, beginning of LeBron. Yeah. We just forget. And he's just going to go down as one of those people. We did with Oscar Robertson. We done it with the Iceman, where they just fell into some great people at the times, and we just forget that they were still formidable in their career. So so I'm waiting to see what happens come July 30th, because ain't nothing happened the first 2 weeks. We all know that.
I think once LeBron goes somewhere, that's when everybody else is to start scrambling for deals and try to get somewhere to play, to be competitive against LeBron, or try to play with LeBron to get on. You're gonna be surprised who's gonna take that veteran minimum to be on the team. That's true. That championship, it'll start coming out the woodworks.
And it's crazy because LeBron's 33. He's in great shape, and I give him all the credit in the world. He really takes his body serious. But at age 33, is he still the type of person you want to build future, or are you just building right now?
You're building right now.
Because if he signs a deal, the deal will put him at 4 years. We'll put him at 37, 38 time frame when it's over with, which I still think he'll still average at least 18 points. I still think he'll still give you top especially in today's NBA, he'll still give you top tier talent, but do you not look at the future? Because we talked about Boston Celtics last week, how they projected a team for 5-10 years. Like, if they are able to maintain everything, they got a team that with stars to last at least 10 years.
True.
So with them, you're like, hey, we got Kyrie. If Kyrie leave, we're still good. If Gordon Hayward get hurt again, we're still good because we did it through the draft. And I think LA has that type of talent right now with Ingram and with Kyle Kuzma, and I think those two can really be, and Julius Randle, because they may keep him. I like Julius Randle. So you have a front line that's mobile, quick. They may not be able to shoot like you want them to in this NBA, but they're mobile, they're quick, and I think I would not auction them off.
You forgot about Alonzo.
You know, I read that he has a meniscus tear right now.
Meniscus tear?
And you know what? I think, and it's funny how all of a sudden he has it when they're thinking about trading him, which lets me know that his father is so smart. Because ain't nobody going to trade for it. Oh, all of a sudden, I'm hurt now. Oh, you hurt? When you get hurt? So I find that amazing, by the way, that he's hurt all of a sudden at this moment. So I think his father did a good job on that. Great job to his father. So
smart man.
He is. Business, he ain't.
Ball of league.
Yeah. That is so true. So I want us to shift gears to Jameis Winston. And the reason why I want us to talk about it is because in college, he has had some issues with women off the field. And now we're learning some details of an incident he may have had with an Uber driver and having inappropriate touching with an Uber driver. And is it time for the league, the NFL, to step up and say, you know what, we're not going to tolerate this? Is it time for them to cut? Because I'm starting to hear a lot of people saying we should cut him. Here's where I'm finding it weird, and that's why I say people have short-term memory. You want to cut him for having inappropriate touch. Ben Roethlisberger was raping people, and y'all ain't cut him.
Yeah.
So let's keep that on the burner now.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger did not get cut for rape twice, and he got a new contract.
Yeah, I'm saying he got a new contract.
I want to compare the two, and
I don't think they suspended him either at any game.
No, they did not suspend. And if they did,
no games
I don't think he got suspended either. So, what's the difference now? I'm not saying both of them wrong, doing anything to win.
But I think the thing is now, it's more of a stance against it now.
Okay.
That's one of the things I definitely like now with the Me Too and
right,
which is not a bad movement. It's not a bad movement. It's not at all. But I think now we're at a point now where people are speaking up and they're feeling things should be done. Of course, because the last thing. One thing you gotta remember, the NFL is a business.
That's true.
So who are they always trying to appeal to when they always advertise in these games, these commercials, these products?
Middle America.
Middle America, but most of all, who?
Women. Yeah, they do have a new push for women now. That is true.
Push for women. Always trying to push women to be involved in the league, no matter what. You know, from buying the jerseys, to buying the groceries, to go to the games.
Breast cancer. I mean, they do have. I mean, this is a men's league, but they do more breast cancer than they do prostate cancer. Think about that.
Yeah, I mean that's what you gotta keep in mind. As they said, they gotta appeal to a demographic. They're always trying to pull in closer and to be more involved. And I think it's more to get male cheerleaders in that case. I mean,
you know that's probably.
I don't want to see that. I'm just saying, they're trying to go all out. Why not?
You know what? They probably is gonna go down to that route because eventually you gonna do so much to please a population that you're trying to get into that you will have male cheerleaders. And you're right. The league has changed. Yeah. Things are changing, and you know. I don't agree with anybody doing any disrespectful thing to a woman that violates her. And I do think that he should be cut. But does cutting do anything? Because when you cut a player, you're literally still giving them majority of their money. Yeah. And the talent will supersede that. We have seen in the past, talent supersedes a lot of things.
It's always been that way.
I mean, Ray Lewis killed the man. I don't care what anybody say. Ray Lewis killed the man, and he has his 2 Super Bowl rings. He killed the man, straight up. He was found guilty in not trial court. He was found guilty in I forgot the Silver Court. He was found guilty in Silver Court, which means he was found liable, which means he was found guilty of killing that man or being the reason why that man died. So he still came out, and now we think he's the greatest man on God's planet. No, you're a murderer and you killed someone. Keep it real. So talent supersedes. Greg Harden throws women on guns. Dallas Cowboys signed him to a deal last year. Now he's an MMA fighter. Talent supersedes our moral compass, and then I'm trying to figure out where does it stop, because obviously
it never stops. It's not even like this, the same way. Not even just in sports, it's like that in anywhere. You think about it in school. You always had that one guy who always showed up late.
Yeah.
Turned in his assignments.
Yeah.
You know. Sometimes he was the quarterback of the football team.
True.
Sometimes he was just the smartest guy in the room. He always had that leeway to play with. He just always, or he come into class, he's always cutting up.
True.
But the teacher knew he was always the smartest guy in the class. Always, it's just like that in society. It's always the one that shows the greatest potential, the greatest, the highest ceiling. A lot of times gets that leeway to not say do what they please. It's just they have at times a free reign to do certain things. And it's like, there's definitely in sports, it's more prevalent because that's what everybody sees. It's what a lot of people pay attention to. Sports.
Yeah, because and with just Jameis Winston, it's like, man, you want to give a person the benefit of the doubt because he hasn't been found guilty, and that's one thing I like to say. He hasn't been found guilty. They're still working out details, and this case is, I think, almost 2 years old, which is weird in itself. How it's 2 years old, but the fact of the matter is where there's smoke is there fire. Because we've seen this in the past. And he's been getting off. He become Teflon Don when it comes to these situations now. So
now I'm saying, now you think with fire, do you think he's been doing something more extreme, like actually more,
maybe he's
and there may be more stuff to come out,
right? Testing his boundaries a little bit more. Like this line's been drawn, but I'm gonna see if I can keep pushing it with women.
What do you think rules are? Rules are boundaries. So of course, you're going to test boundaries. You're going to see especially in his position, because he's the quarterback of the team. I mean, look at Tom Brady. This man comes to camp whenever he wants to.
Yeah.
And he'll be starting for game 1.
That's true.
Of the league.
And tell you to get rid of the best backup quarterback ever. Yeah,
this man's going on vacations while his team's sweating out, doing OTAs and everything. But yeah, of course, like I tell you, the most potential since entitlement. Yeah, you're the highest ceiling, the most potential, the best player, the best whatever. Of course, you get that leeway. You get to test the boundaries. I mean, they're not going to continue to allow them to test the boundaries, but eventually they get tired of him. Either he's going to chill out, or they're just going to, push him off, and move on. Like you said, because he still has to produce. That's true. The thing I say. He still got to produce. So you think about it. After a while, if you're not producing,
that's the point.
There ain't gonna be any use for you at all.
That's the point.
And next, in that draft, they're gonna be looking for a new quarterback.
That's that. And I'm glad you really brought that home, because that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, this may be his best season ever. He might prove that he's top tier quarterback, and now all of a sudden we forget. Mm-hmm. And I wonder.
That's how it always works.
And I wonder if that's a big problem that we're having, and that's why these athletes continue to do that. Is that, do they feel as though, hey, as long as we're producing, you'll let me slide?
Yeah, that's how it always works.
And that's crazy to me because, like you said, the Me Too movement is to bring awareness to it. Even though I personally have my own views about how they go about doing things, I don't think nothing should wait 25 years. And I don't believe a person, I'll just leave it at that. But I do believe that they do serve a purpose. And I think right now with the NFL, and they done took and they hit, with the Greg Harden situation, things like that, and we're seeing that, hey, as long as you can produce on the field, because we do consider football to be a sport where you have to have that killer instinct. I wonder, do we let certain situations slide because we view these players, hey, they have to have that killer instinct? What type of person would just willingly let someone hit them? So We have, you see that in the military. What type of person would really jump out of a plane? Ain't nothing wrong with that plane, but they're gonna jump out of that plane. So they have to have some type of edge about them.
Yeah.
So do we let that edge continue to make excuses for him? I mean, I want to see how Tampa Bay plays this, because technically he hasn't been found guilty. Do I think he should be cut? Unfortunately, no. But I think that there should be some disciplinary besides 3 games, but he haven't been found guilty. But I do believe where there's smoke, there's fire, and I think he needs help, and I think they need to start investing in the mental health side of things and start getting these players help, because there's something wrong if you keep having a person not just dealing with, being inappropriate with women, but you have a lot of these people who are inappropriate with other people too. They found a body in another player's house. I mean, these things. You're starting to see this with football players, and it's like, there's them getting hit upside the head is not good. So I think they need to really invest into these things. And always remember, they always say Colin Kaepernick was a criminal just because he didn't want to stand up for the flag, and they treat him like one. But they let these other people go. I always like to say it. Well, let's throw that in there. So
Colin Kaepernick.
Always, I love me some Colin Kaepernick, but
he no longer plays for the 49ers, right?
It don't matter. He's gonna play for a team. He's just too talented.
Too talented.
Just too talented.
Yeah, the league, throwing the ball to himself, he catching the ball, running the touchdown, tackling himself.
Madden All-Pro.
All in that afro.
Matter of fact, he should be on the next cover of Madden.
Right.
So, should players take less money? And I thought about this, and it's been pondering on me, because you hear KD took less money. You always hear Tim Duncan. Dirk has always taken less money and things like that.
Dwayne Wade's taking less money.
And we not understand that only really in football and basketball they kind of force them to take less money. Baseball, they ain't taking less money. I mean, they signing $250 million contracts like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And hockey, they don't take less. And then football world, they don't take less. Football American, hey, once you're 2 years into your deal, we want you to restructure it.
Yeah.
Basketball, hey, if you do X, Y, Z, you should take less money. And I'm actually saying a player should not take less money. And this is why. Before the NBA became a cash cow, there were players barely making $25 million. And a lot of people don't understand it. These superstar players, like Michael Jordan playing career, he didn't make that much.
No, he didn't.
He made
money off his endorsements.
Exactly. And he barely made money off of that. Yeah. Shout out to his first wife. Yeah. Keep it real. His first wife knew the value of him and made him become the person he is. He owed that his first wife everything. But you see, like, players before 1999, they barely made it, and they were the face of the league. And now you have a situation where these players are being asked to take less money when the league is not taking less of nothing. TV deals are out the roof. Endorsement deals for the teams are out the roof. I mean, merchandise deals. I mean, you're literally blown. Everybody's making money. No owner's taking less. But yet you'll go to a player and be like, hey, if you take $50 million less, we could get XYZ to build a team. I think a player should not take less, because you're hurting. You may be able to afford taking less now because of your off the field endorsements, but what about that player coming up behind you? And I think that's what we as people in society got to understand. Would you take less if Trump came to you and said, you know what, we could bring in 7 more E7s if you take less money? Would you take less money? Exactly. Exactly. Right. And that's my point. No other field in life do we tell people to take less money. But we want these athletes to take less money. Do I think athletes should get paid all the money they get? That's to each his own. They got a skill that obviously right now pays them the most money. You're not asking teachers to take less money. Hey, go up to a teacher right now and be like, I could bring in 5 more teachers to help ease the pressure. If you take $10,000 for that, they're looking at you like, I'm picking and they're trying to get another $10,000. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we got to understand things are set up in place, not just for you. And I think it's selfish for a player at this moment in time to accept less, because you're hurting it for the next person that comes up. Because look at the Spurs right now. And with Kawhi, Tim Duncan been taking less. Everybody been taking less. Yeah. Kawhi, why you not a team player? See, I think that's why. Honestly, I think that's mostly the issue.
And I think everybody gets mixed up. They felt like, oh, when it was time, when Duncan was winding down, what that situation was, he was the next one, that he was going to fall in line and do the same thing that Duncan did. And here's somebody in this camp, they say prefers, like, nah, this is what you worth. Go get what you worth.
Exactly.
And I say it for anybody. Shoot, if you feel you worth X amount of dollars, go get X amount of dollars. I wouldn't take less. Because my thing is, in the long run, like you said, if I took less to bring on the next person, they're going to expect the next person to use me as an example. And say if that next person looked up to me as probably Kawhi looked at the Duncan. Oh, yeah, well, I'm supposed to take less because he took less? Oh, shoot, well, he's better than me. I'm going to take what I'm owed and what I'm due. Pay me what you owe me.
Exactly.
You know, pay me what's due to me. I mean, I don't blame anybody for go for that. Now, it's one thing now, you 20 years in the league, and you sit there trying to demand a max. That's one thing. Now,
right.
Partner, you done been 20 years, you done made your time. You should be in the pasture right now, getting ready to be put out your misery. As far as your career.
You're right.
But I mean, yeah, that's always should be, it's always a matter of who's demanding that kind of money.
Right.
You know, and like I said, young man, diverse, because he's pretty much been holding it down pretty much since they won the last championship.
Exactly.
You know, it's just a matter of they haven't really been taking the time to build around him, knowing that Duncan was on his downslope fast. He declined real quick after they won that last title, and they felt, oh, we'll just keep the same people around them, and we still be. I mean, they had been competitive, but they didn't have that edge they used to when they show up on the court.
Right, and they expected him. Oh, he's going to take less money because he's a product of Duncan. No owner takes less money. You think an owner's like, you know what? I don't want that extra $2 or $3 million, because when you actually taking less money, you're saving the owner money. Yeah. So you're putting more money in his pocket.
Yeah.
And my thing is, it's not like that money is getting distributed equally anyway. And a lot of these players don't understand that. The players that played before you, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Charles Barkley only made like $50 million his whole career. I think it's roughly around
something like that.
Thing about Charles Barkley was one of Michael Jordan's nemesis throughout that time frame. Even though we may not see him that way, he was, and only making $50 million. I mean, Tristan Thompson made that this past contract.
Yeah.
And he don't have none of Charles Barkley abilities. But I'm not mad at Tristan, because I want you to take the money. And nobody should come to you and say, if you take less, it will help build the team, because it's your job to build the team. Exactly. You are supposed to build the team. This money is, you get money. If my jerseys sell, you getting money off of that. The players really don't get money off of that. I mean, the NBA is better, and I give the NBA credit because they're union. And the reason why I like this is because the face of their union, I think, is Oscar Robertson. Is it Oscar Robertson, the union chief, or is it is it Oscar?
What's that?
Of the NBA union, like he started the NBA union. Was it Oscar Robertson?
I don't know.
I have to check into that.
Yeah.
But it was set up to protect the players, because remember, when the ABA came into the NBA flourished because all these great players in the ABA came over, and they were getting crapped on by the NBA, because the NBA was like, okay, you're coming over. So what? You're bringing us a talent and everything, but we're promoting this, not realizing that these players were bringing a fan base. And throughout the years, people watched basketball through the 90s because of Michael Jordan. I mean, they really didn't like nobody else. They'd be like, oh man, Michael Jordan. So I will have to give them credit. Michael Jordan was the face. LeBron James right now, people don't really watch basketball like that, but they know LeBron James, they know Steph Curry. So to see people talking about y'all should take less money, it's like they're making billions off of TV deals.
Of course.
Merchandise. I mean, they want to be global. So these players go overseas. Klay Thompson right now in China, beating little kids in basketball.
Hey, what you do?
So I'm saying there's so much money to be made that we all should be able to eat off this table. We all should be able to eat off the table equally. Now, is it going to be equally? No, but my piece shouldn't be 25%, and you have the rest of it. No, let me get at least 45% of that pie. Stop asking me to take less when you're not going to do nothing else with that money. So, I'll never want a player to take less. So I mean, I'm glad we're on the same page, because I'm telling you right now, anybody come to me and be like, hey, we want you to take less to bring somebody else in, I'm be like, if that person's worth you bringing them in, then you take less.
Yeah.
If that person's worth it, you take less to bring them in. Matter of fact, I want to add 10% more to what I'm making now, because I feel as though I'm better than that person.
Exactly.
Oh man, so we're gonna wind down the show, and I want to wind down the show with my man Chris Webber.
Okay.
And he's starting to open up more to Michigan, and something Jalen Rose said made me think about it. He was like, Chris Webber's been passed over for the Hall of Fame, so maybe this is his way of bridging the gap before people start looking at his Michigan career as more of an addition to his Hall of Fame than separating it and keeping him out of the Hall of Fame. What you think?
I mean, that could be very much so. I mean, yeah, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the greatest players, like ever, but to play how he played there, because he reminded me of, he was a bigger Larry Johnson. He was bigger Larry Johnson.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
In the same game.
Yeah.
Just very, basically had the same kind of
yeah.
upbringing.
Yeah.
That UNLV team.
Yeah,
they were something to reckon with.
Yeah.
They were a team that, you were gonna. It was something to watch. I remember watching them games. I think I was overseas at the time. My dad was watching UNLV play. It was but it could be That's what it is. Then that's what it is. I mean, some people start to realize nowadays it takes a lot more than just people saying you should be in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Now it's like you gotta reach out, shake hands and kiss babies. That's what you have to do now. It's just that way. It's the way it is nowadays. It's no longer relying on just the reporters and the interviewers. True. And people saying that we need to, so and so needs to be in the Hall of Fame and start a campaign. You need to be more visible nowadays to the public. People are like, you know what? Why is he in the Hall of Fame? Yeah, we need to put him in the Hall of Fame. We need to start working toward the Hall of Fame. And that's probably more or less what it is. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. Right. You feel you should have your place.
I agree, because I didn't think about this, but Tracy McGrady got in before Chris Webber. Yeah. And that, you really think about it, it's like, number-wise, they're pretty much the same in regards to numbers as far as points scored. Yeah. I mean, Chris Webber was more all around because he was a bigger man. Yeah. But overall, you started realizing that, wow, there have been some players that have been in a little less time than Chris Webber. He ain't made. So I think, just like you said, I think right now he's like, I want to make it on the next ballot. So, hey, Michigan, I'm sorry, you know what? I didn't take the money, but it's water under the bridge. I'm going to come kiss babies, come to your games now, hug, Fab Five. Yay, Fab Five. So, I agree with you.
I think, one thing, once he do an appearance with the other members of the Fab Five, I think it'll smooth things out.
Of course.
I think a lot of times it's like, even though, whether we did nothing bad or not, a lot of times what we don't do makes us look guilty at times. It does. It's like, okay, wait a minute. Even though we did not rob this bank, but I no longer talk to you or whatever, hang out with you. Wait a minute. Weren't you involved with them guys that robbed that bank? Yeah. People like, I wasn't part of that. Yeah. Sure you wasn't, so why don't you hang out with him anymore? Why all the questions start coming out. Well, why don't you do this? Why aren't you doing that?
I like that.
It's just the way it is. You look at it, it's how it is a lot of times.
That's true. That is so true. And that's scary, because you know what? You're right. You're known by your associates or who you distance yourself from. And when you distance yourself from people, sometimes it brings more questions. Because now Jalen Rose talked about it, because I watched the documentary. And he was like, man, people was questioning me. I took money. He never said I took money. I was poor. I was broke. They were making millions off of me. I took money. I'm not going to be, that man saved my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris Webber, like, nah, he prey on kids. He's a bad man. and I think that really haunted Chris, and I think that you're right. Now he's starting to look at it. He's like, I probably would have been better off if I would have just owned up to it, because at the end of the day, we knew he took money. Whether he took it while he was playing, and I tell people I never will fault him or anybody for taking
Let me
money.
give you two more examples. Mark McGuire, Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds was the last season he was working with the Marlins. I know Mark McGuire didn't do nothing, but I know he actually admitted to doing. And I think he screwed himself on that.
Yeah.
So if they can't prove it,
Hey, Barry Bonds, you did it? Nope. But Barry Bonds, you're like skinny with a big head right now. I ain't do nothing. He'll deny it to his grave.
I'm not saying the lie about it, but
He's
if
like,
they
nope.
catch you. I mean, come on, man.
Nope,
I mean,
they ain't never have a positive test. That's the
That's
part.
what
They ain't never
say,
have a
like,
positive test.
So I mean,
You're not denying it, but they just didn't catch you.
come on.
Man, you looking like a big grape doing those time frames. But yeah, you're absolutely right, and I do agree. I mean, if you own up to it, America is designed, especially if you have that type of talent, they're designed to embrace you
man.
back and things like that. Like we talked about in the previous segment. With football, we see, hey, you kill a person, as long as you can play, we'll still. So it's a forgiving culture as long as you can produce.
Yeah.
And so I agree with you on that. So, we're about to wind it down. Yes, we are. And we do thank y'all for joining us once again. And
You can check us where?
and you can check Mr. William Coleman, aka The Glove, on Facebook at William Coleman and every other social media site, William Coleman. And always remember,
I'm on Facebook, but go.
and just remember, if you see two ugly blue feet, it's William Coleman on Facebook. And you can check out me as Achu Shakur on Facebook.
All right. We also like to thank To Expose You for broadcasting us on their channel. The number 2, exposeyou.com. That's the number 2, exposu.com. Thank you again, like always, for giving us a chance and taking the time to broadcast us again. Also, check out, we do have a broadcast on their website at toexposure.com that we did last weekend on a touching subject about a past artist. And that show is called, is this posted as Real Talk?
Real Talk.
It is on there, so please check it out when you get time. We do plan on posting some others out there in the near future. So like I said, just stay tuned. We'll be coming to you very, very soon. So thank you. So once again, that's us. It's Myshawn Taylor. It's William Coleman, and y'all have a good afternoon. You have a good life, a good weekend, and y'all be safe out there.
Hakuna Matata.